Hi guys, welcome back to Sweden or Bust. And well, it's been quite a long month. There has been no shortage of games for us to be playing in this month, and as you can see, there's no red on the screen. In fact, there's the last red. Let's just hide that. Oh, that looks delightful. Anyway, I just wanted to say, firstly, if you've been enjoying the series, please hit that like button or even subscribe. There's a big old thing around here that's floating. You can hit that and subscribe. And anyone who's subscribed so far, thank you so much. It's been awesome to see the number of people that are actually enjoying this series so far, considering how young this channel is. And I really do want to try and grow it and make something awesome for you guys. Now, let's get into the games. We were quite a long way off the pace in the league. We were really struggling, and Helsingborn were absolutely flying. They came second last year, and it looked like they were going to just carry that momentum into the season, and they kind of still are doing that. We've managed to halt it a little bit, though, and we're going to go take a look at, well, we're going to take a look at the game against AIK. This one, we're at home. AIK are having a much better season this year, and I really hoped that we could get one over on them, and we really, bloody hell. Malic, once again, he's like a mallet more than a Malic. He hammers goals home. His head, he's got like a horse's head. Oh, no, not a horse. He's got the neck muscles of a horse. Like, you know when you see Cristiano Ronaldo head balls, it's like his neck is wider than his head. This guy must have similar kind of thing going on, because he's a beast. He's already scored headers for us from outside the area. It's crazy, but I think he's wonderful. And we dominated the game, but then an Ivo Pekalski own goal before half-time gifted them a point that they really did not deserve, and I thought I'd got my tactics spot on in this game. It's just that we were unable to capitalise on in front of goal, which is a massive, massive shame. We're now going to come on to the game that we'll be showing you in this episode, and this was Helsingborn, and I was massively pleased with this because we were actually a lot better than them, and we managed to get the win, but they still run us pretty close, and we'll see you guys in the highlights. Now, obviously, we are still on 2D highlights because I have yet to hear if you would prefer 2D or 3D, so these episodes are going to be on 2D as well, because this is how I play the game now, because I'm getting a better idea of where things are going right. And it was Johansson's ball, Smedberg Dallas's ball in, and Johansson with the big header, and that was basically all that really happened in that game in terms of, well, there was a few clear-cut chances for either side, but we managed to come out on top against Helsingborn, and that is the massively important thing here. In fact, because that was so short, I may highlight another game in this episode, just to give you a bit more value for money, because that wasn't really much to show you. We managed to get the win, and it kept us unbeaten too. We're unbeaten in the Allsvenskan since that game against Mjällby. We've only lost 2 games this season, basically, in all competitions, apart from the Super Cup, which we lost to Helsingborg in the final, which was a pain in the ass. But Helsingborg's win against us, that was a little bit of revenge, and we also had that loss away at Mjällby, which was an annoying one. Then we had our first Champions League game, and I was really excited for this. My plan was basically win the first leg by as much goals as physically possible. That way we can put out a hugely weakened team in the second leg. And that is exactly what we did, basically. If you remember, I did something similar with oh god, when was it? In the Europa League. I did it last year when we played against Sligo Rovers, where we won the away leg 4-0, I think, and then that was cool. This one was a strange one. Before the game had even started, when you see those lineup screens, I saw that Lovshin, their players were all on like 72% condition before the game had even started. I don't know why that is, whether they'd had a league game really, really close by or something, or that's just because they are a professional team. So if anyone knows why their players start, look at this, they were finishing on like 43% fitness, and even their subs. It was very, very strange. So basically they had no chance at all, and they only managed 3 shots in the entire game, none of which were on target. We scored a lot of goals. We scored 7 times, and that just put the tie to bed. I'm surprised we didn't get more, actually. Zofchak nailed himself 2 goals. Malic picked himself up a goal. Jacob Jakobsen also got us a goal. Gustav Engvall got a goal. I think that's the first goal he scored for us in a very long time. It may even be his first goal. And then late on, goals from Emil Salomonsson and John Goosens, the man, managed to make it 7-0. And that pretty much did the Jesus Christ, look how long their stadium name is. Training Camp na Starom Aerodromu Podgorica. Does that mean training camp in something aerodrome, like an airfield or something? Anyone who speaks I actually don't know what language they speak in Montenegro. If you know what language, is it Montenegrin or is it like a more local dialect? I apologise for my ignorance. I know that Podgorica is the capital of Montenegro, but I actually don't know what language they speak there. That is very ignorant of me. In fact, see if I can find out here. I apologise, I go off on these tangents sometimes, but it's because I'm genuinely curious to see. Languages, Montenegrin, okay. Serbian, Bosnian and Croatian, that makes a bit of sense. Now I know, I learned something, and I'm sure if you didn't know that either, you now know that too. So, not only am I entertaining, but I'm educating. So, yeah. Thank me later, if that ever comes up in a pub quiz. That gave us a lovely, healthy advantage, which we, well, took comfortably into the second leg. Next up was Norshipping, and Norshipping last season were the thorn in my side, although we did eventually get one over on them later on, but they were very, very good. This year, not so much. Not so much at all. Goals for Smedberg Talents, and you'll notice that Gustav Engvall scoring for us in the league, which is great to see, and we wiped the floor with them, frankly. In fact, let's show you the highlights of this one, just so you can see Gustav Engvall score a goal. So, I'll see you in the highlights. So yeah, we were pretty much in control of this game from start to finish, but it was away from home, and I've always worried about our away form a bit, especially last season. Home we've been excellent, but it was away from home where I thought we might struggle. We actually dispossessed them while they were quite high up the pitch, and that was what enabled us to counter-attack here. Smedberg Dalens picks the ball up, drops it out wide to Salomonsson, who then feeds it into Malangu, who's been brilliant for us. Malic's ball through, but it comes back to Smed... Oh no, sorry, it was cleared, but eventually it will come back to Smedberg Dalens. He's just sort of, if you watch his position, he's just hiding behind there, and then he makes the run inside and is able to slot it into the far corner. He is just as good this year as he was last year, although I've got to say, John Goossens is looking like my favourite signing of this entire series, because he has been so prolific with goals and assists. Now, it's time to see Gustav Engvall score a goal, and he has a lot of potential, and I know if this series ran on a lot longer, that he would surely become an absolute club legend, and I really want to have a long-running series in Football Manager 15, so we get a chance to have some club legends and a real story. That's the plan for me. It's all very well watching stats, but I like to try and tell a story too, and we're going to really try and delve into that in Football Manager 15. The reason I'm talking over this is because there's literally nothing happened. Basically, it's a really long highlight, unnecessarily long. Goossens eventually tracks back to win the ball, and it's dropped off to Adam Johansson. Goossens wins it back on the wing again, and this time drops it into Engvall, who's pulled out into a wide left position, who then does some lovely interchanges here, which is fantastic. Running over to now, watch the run from Engvall, just gets himself into the box, straight in, and just squeezes it in at the near post. A lovely piece of play, and Gustav Engvall was really linking up the play nicely there. So, enjoy that, and he is clearly in real life as well, I'd say. He is a real player, isn't he, Engvall? Someone let me know. I assume Gustav Engvall is actually a real player. I know he's not a regen here, so I'm assuming that that's not just been someone that's added to the database, but hopefully he's a real guy, because he looks like one hell of a player for the future of Swedish football, along with people like Oskar Lewicki, who's been the thorn in my side when we've played against Häcken. He's a quality player. And John Guidetti as well. He's a City player. I think he's on at Celtic now or something. We then had the following up leg against Lovchen, and considering we won 7-0 away from home, I genuinely wanted to see if we could get, 13 goals on aggregate. It wasn't to be, and I think that's because, for a start, they must have been much fresher. No, they weren't. I didn't even notice that. They weren't fresh in the second leg, too. We really should have scored more goals against them. In fact, they didn't even have a single shot in that game. They were actually worse away from home. Engvall got on the score sheet again, and Jorge Galán. He's a forgotten man. We signed him up, and he's just barely even played for us. We made some great signings in the summer, and Galán's just not even got a look in this year. But that's how changed the team. Look, Saralic, Salomonsson did play, Ehrman, Biesmir, Foman, Johansson, Schuler, Allenson, Orvenstad, Goossens, and Engvall, and even on the bench, like Emil Bergström, if you look, Malangu. Okay, I was hoping that Schönstrom might appear, or is Schönstrom? I think Schönstrom's in my other series. I'm getting them confused now. Point is, we were through to the next round, and we were drawn, unfortunately, against SK Rapid Vienna. Rapid Vienna, basically. And there were so many easier ties that we could have been given, and we ended up getting someone from the Austrian league, and that's annoying, because there were still teams in it from Luxembourg, I think, that we could have been drawn against, but nope, we ended up against Rapid Vienna. Being the champions does not help you in this situation. It was very, very annoying, but we'll get onto that in a second. Next was Dejefor, and this was disappointing. They are struggling this year, but they're not an awful side. And the fact is, they were pretty decent against us. They had their chances and they took them. Thomas Malic hammering yet another goal in. Bergström picked up an injury in the game, which is a little bit annoying. But Daniel Sundgren was able to score a penalty for them, and they pretty much just they got on that boat and they sailed it home, and they got themselves a point against us. So that was pretty impressive. It's a shame because we were still trying to chase down Helsingborn at the moment, and that was quite an unfortunate result. Not a lot of league games this month, in all honesty, mostly Champions League stuff. Rapid Vienna. My plan here was to just go and try and nick a goal, or just see what we can do and see whether we can play them better in the home leg. Now, considering the odds against us in this game, I actually thought we did quite well. It was a pretty dull affair, and they contained most of the possession, which kind of sucks because that's kind of the way we play. But Augustin's penalty in the first half, and when that happened, I thought, right, park all kinds of buses in the way, and unfortunately Florian Wellerschutz, which is a great name, was able to equalise for them. But we go back home with a 1-1 lead. That is that's quite a paradox. With a 1-1 scoreline on aggregate. So that means that any win for us at home wins us the tie, or a 0-0. In fact, if they don't score, we cannot go out. So if we can just keep them out at home, I think we've got a good chance here. And I'm very, very impressed, and that's good because that will get us through to, the playoff round? So we could end up against God knows who, and there's still teams like Victoria Pilsen and that we could end up being playing against in the playoff run, so it's still not all roses, but I would like to get there, and that's where the board expects. I don't know if we drop out into the Europa League if we go out in this round either, and I would like to play in Europe at some point with this team, because I think we've got a real chance against some teams if we can just get the tactics right, which I think we kind of did in this game. So that is about that. Now in the next episode, which is going to be August, we've got a few games. We've got Halmstad in the league away. I'd like to think we can win there. Elfsborg at home. Well, we beat them away, so I think we could probably win there. Milby at home. Got to win there. GAIS, it's away, but it's not away because it's at home because we share a stadium. They're struggling and they've conceded a buttload of goals. I'd like to think we can win there too. I think we could win all 4 league games next month, genuinely. Champions League against SK Rapid Wien, I think we have to win that, or at least stop them from scoring so we go through. Even if it's a bit tight, we'll go through. That's the key here. And Svenska Cup in second round, so that'll be against some third division side. Hopefully we won't get caused the same kind of problems that we did have against Karlstad last year. But you'll have to wait and see and find out what happens in the next episode. Anyway, if you've been enjoying this series, feel free to hit that like button, and if you like it even more than that and are looking forward to Football Manager 15, hit the subscribe button for lots of yummy videos. I keep calling them yummy videos. That is a strange way of talking, but who cares? Anyway, I will see you guys in the next episode. Wait, what the hell am I talking about? I've not even looked at the stats. That was very rude of me. And the table. I apologise. Right, this is the table. We are in... Well, we're in second place, and basically, the only defeat that Helsingborg have had this year was that 1-0 against us. So we've started to pull out a little bit of a gap against some of the teams below us, but not by much, and we're only 3 points off the top. It's a tough situation to be in, basically, and I really hope that we can keep on pushing, because Helsingborg are flying, and I just genuinely think they could just end up romping home with the title. They could win every game from now. They are so good at the moment. Let's take a look at the stats. Now, most appearances, Biesmir and Alvborge. And a few, substitute appearances. But top goal scorer, Thomas Malic. He has played a lot more games than Christopher Niemann, but Niemann's had a few injuries, so he hasn't really played for as much this month at all. Goossens, though, with 9 goals, has also been superb. Assists? Well, that's Goossens and Smedberg Dallas with 7 each. Basically, one of those two is going to win the top assister. They are so good at those crosses, and now that we're really utilising them, they're going to be even more important. Most man of the matches, that's Malic. And Niemann and Johansson are tied on 3, so that's pretty decent too. Pass rating? Pekalski with 85. I really like him. I think he's been a solid signing. One of my favourite signings, in fact. Although Goossens has clearly taken the biscuit on that one. Yellow cards. Augustinsson and Pekalski with 5, and Alan Salmonson with 5. Our only red card was obviously Pekalski, which was very annoying. Top average rating is Salmonson. And without a doubt, he's been superb. Like, genuinely, playing from right back, he's got 5 goals and 5 assists and an 84% pass ratio. This guy is quality. In fact, if you're building a team in Scandinavia, look him up, because he's fantastic. I don't think he's even that old. 26, prime of his career. We're getting some offers for him, but no one's even going near his estimated value, so which is absurd. Like, his crossing isn't even that good, nor is his finishing. Or long shots, but he's just able to score the goals, and so that's wonderful. Right, that probably will sum up this episode. So, if you've liked what you've seen, hit that like button. If you've liked it even more than that, hit the subscribe button. Sorry for messing up this episode a little bit, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Until then, bye-bye.